Hi, I'm going to be talking in length about College 101, as I like to call it, but it's basically what you need to know about your post secondary options, or in other words, what to do after high school. So you have several options. A lot of people, especially this year with COVID, have taken a gap year. It's a year that you just do not do any further education. Some people travel, some people do some internal and external searching for what they would like to do after high school. I will say gap years are not always recommended because the likelihood of going back to school is a higher percent less likely. And you will find out shortly in life that the more education, the better to be able to advance yourself in career options. Also, going to work. You can find a company that you can work for. There's several wonderful companies in our local area where you can be just 18 years of age that offer great beginning pay and great benefits. And you can, if you will, work your way up into that company to advance in your career and in your salary. And also, working for a company may provide things like providing an apprenticeship where you can do on the job training and get additional certifications and um, certificates that can help you advance your career. And also, don't be afraid to look for for companies that pay for your college. So I'm going to click on this. Takes you to an article of some very popular companies that will help pay for college tuition. So why not work and have someone help pay for your future education? Companies like UPS, Wells Fargo, Comcast, Starbucks, Verizon, other local companies like for instance, Stryker are companies that once you get into their organization and have a couple months or years experience, they will help pay for continuing your education. Third, community college. You only need a high school diploma to be accepted into community college. Some of you already do take college courses at your local community college, which is something like Kellogg Community College in Battle Creek or Kalamazoo Valley Community College in Kalamazoo. At these community colleges, they're essentially at a larger scale high school. They're smaller class sizes. They have more one on one help with professors and teachers. And they're a great way to start your further education. You can just take a few courses just to get a feel for that environment and get classes and things that you have interest in, like photography or computer web design. You can also become a part of the early college program. Some of you are already, where you take courses starting your junior and or senior year. You can get 60 credit hours paid for by Gull Lake Community Schools. And those credits can either earn you an associate's degree or a certification, or it may be credits that you can transfer to a college or university. You can also just earn a certification right out of high school. It's approximately 30 credit hours. There's things like welding, um, heating and cooling, ventilation, wind turbine technician, a lot of great certifications at your local community college. It is approximately only 30 credit hours, which in essence is about 10 to 12 classes is all you would need to take to get certified, to get a great entry level position at a company. And also at a community college, you can earn an associate's degree. An associate's degree is a 2-year full time degree, approximately 62 credit hours, and there are a lot of wonderful entry level positions that you can get with an associate's degree. Fourth option after high school, the military. You do need a high school diploma, need to be 18 years of age, or a parent signs off on you at a 17-year-old. There are several branches, Army, Navy, Coast Guard, Marines. There are several different contracts you can sign and obligations you can have at the through for the government, whether it's an active, full enlisted uh, person into the military, or the reserves, or the National Guard. The benefits of the military are endless. You can make a career in the military. There are several other benefits you can receive for health insurance, life insurance. You get a lot of different benefits at other companies, and purchasing something like a car, you can have military benefits. And then the largest benefit is if you go to the military after high school, you can get what's called the GI Bill. The GI Bill is basically a bill that the government will pay for your college education. So you would be eligible for full tuition up to $25,000 a year. They'd also pay for housing, books, supply. So you can enlist into the military, and after at least 90 months of, or I'm sorry, 90 days of service, you will be eligible to get college tuition paid for. Next, and last, you can go to a college or university right out of high school. You need to apply, and you need to meet certain GPA and SAT requirements when you want to be accepted into that college or university. At that facility, at the institution, examples are things like Western Michigan University, Grand Valley State University, Michigan State, U of M. At those institutions, you can earn what's called a bachelor's degree. It's a 4-year full-time, as a full-time student, would take you 4 years to earn approximately 122 credit hours. And above and beyond the bachelor's, you can still go to a university for a master's degree, your PhD or medical degree, or a professional degree. So let's talk about the type of education you would like to receive for your career. There are several different types of careers that you would perhaps only need to have some high school or college education, an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, and on. So the more likely your income will be based on the higher degree you earn, and the less likely you will have not have a job or be unemployed. So this is from the National or the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, and it shows you your weekly income based on the type of degree you have, and it is the likelihood of that type of job you would have with that particular degree, and what you can expect for income. Now, obviously, there's a lot of different scenarios where you may or may not earn that much based on that degree, or vice versa. So an associate's degree, an example would be a web design. Someone with an associate's degree in web design could make up to $900 a week. Someone who might have a bachelor's degree as a teacher or an accountant, those individuals typically need a bachelor's degree in order to actually get employed, and it's required for their position. A master's degree would be someone like a school counselor or a physician assistant. Those individuals need typically a master's degree. A professional degree is someone like a lawyer or a medical doctor. They would get a professional degree, which is a specialty degree just for that field. And you can see the significant jump of income. And then a doctoral degree, I can have a doctoral degree in education, and depending on the field you're in, you would get increase in pay as well. But you can get a doctoral degree in almost any field, and you would, for instance, need a doctoral degree to teach at a university. So I went over a lot of those in the previous slides. Just to reiterate, an associate's degree is a freshman and sophomore level type of college, taking about 2 years to receive. A bachelor's degree is approximately 4 years after high school. You do not need an associate's degree to get a bachelor's degree. A lot of students ask, if I went and got an associate's degree at KVCC, will it help get me further along in my bachelor's degree? You do not need the one for the other. You do not need the associates for the bachelor's, but the more credit hours you take can add and help towards your bachelor's degree. Master's degree, typically you will need to get your bachelor's degree in order to get your master's degree. A lot of colleges are just letting you go and get a straight master's degree, though. So you can get a master's in accounting, or a master's in occupational therapy or physical therapy. Those will take about 5 to 6 years to complete after high school. It's about 150 credit hours total, or 30 hours above and beyond your bachelor's. A doctorate degree, depending on your field, could be, again, you can go from a bachelor's to a master's to a doctorate degree. It's about 240 credit hours total. And then the professional degree, the lawyers and the medical doctors, it can be anywhere from 6 to 12 years of education after high school. Some more terminology. Undergraduate is a person trying to earn their bachelor's degree. So when you go to look up information, for instance, at Western Michigan University, you would look up an undergraduate program. That is the at freshman coming into college. You do not have a bachelor's degree yet, so you are considered an undergrad. A graduate degree or a graduate program is a person who's already earned their bachelor's degree and they're pursuing further education. Another key term is credit hour. I've already mentioned, for instance, a bachelor's degree is 120 credit hours. What does that mean? Well, it's a unit of measurement for a college class. So 1 credit hour equals 1 hour of instructional classroom time. So most of your college courses are 3 to 4 credit hours. So that means you're in class 3 to 4 hours per week. A major, a primary program of study that you want to focus your courses in or your program of study in. Typically, it is 30 credits of your 120 credits total in your bachelor program. And a minor is your secondary program of study that you would focus on. So, for instance, I may have a major in business and I'll have a minor in Spanish. So I would have to take so many classes in business courses and then so many classes in my Spanish classes. To give you a little bit of a visual, so you need approximately 120 credits for your bachelor's degree, and most universities are going to make you maintain a 2.0 GPA, which is about a C average. If you get below a C average, a lot of colleges and universities put you on what's called an academic probation. And yes, you can get kicked out of college for not maintaining a good GPA. So of the 120 credits that you have to take in college, you'll take about 12 just elective, say, fun courses that you want to take. So 12 credits means about, divided by, say, 3 to 4 credit hours, you're going to take 3 to 4 classes in electives. Then you're going to take a core curriculum, which electives or core curriculum is generally your gen ed classes. It's like your freshman and sophomore level courses. These can be, and A lot of people talk about taking those at a community college because they're cheaper and they can get transferred to your university or college. So you're going to take approximately 12 to 24 credits or classes in your core curriculum. So it's just like high school. Everyone's got to take a science and everyone's got to take some history classes and humanities classes and so forth. Now of the 120 credits, now you're going to take some concentration area courses in your major. So now we're looking at 12 to 20 courses that are going to be at a soft, like junior to senior level type classes that are going to be in your specific major of study. So that could be, now I'm going to get classes in accounting and in business is what I would take as my major. And then minor is if you have a minor. Not all colleges require you to have a minor, but it could be an additional, say, 4 or 5 classes in a minor as well. So that's how much the scale of different courses you take in college. Pretty similar to high school. So to go further about a traditional college or university, schedules look like this, where your fall semester is about 12 weeks long. It's August through December. Winter semester is another 12 weeks long, January through April. And then colleges offer a summer classes. They're very short, condensed classes. Usually I considered them somewhat easier courses. It's kind of like the Cliff Note version of what you really need to know in those classes. So it's short and sweet, pretty intense though. But when most colleges advertise their tuition per year, they're only really talking about fall and winter semester. So you're only in college from August through April, taking 2 semesters or up to like 24 credit hours. So look at the fine print, how they advertise tuition. Know that it's typically just 2 semesters of courses. And then to reiterate some of the course terminology, a 100 level course is a freshman level course, to a 200, 300, 400 level course. 500 level courses are more of the higher level graduate program courses. Again, you typically only take a freshman and sophomore level course at a community college. Higher level courses, you would have to go to a college, like a university or 4-year college. General education or gen ed classes are what we refer to as those beginning courses or 100, 200 level courses. Prerequisites are courses that you need to take before you move on to the next level. So you might have to take something first before you move on in your, say, math class. Students typically take 4 or 5 courses per semester as a full-time student. So that means 12 to 18 credit hours. If you don't take at least 18 credit hours for 4 years, you will not earn your 120 credits to get a bachelor's degree in 4 years. So you either need to take some summer courses or at least take 5 classes per semester. And then your gen ed classes are usually, and elective classes are usually those first 60 hours of classes. And then if you are, say, at Western Michigan University, you, around your junior year, are going to have to apply to the actual program of study. So you'll actually apply then to the College of Business at Western. And then you'll have to declare that major, whether it's accounting or something else specific in business, and finish up your program of study to get your actual degree in your major. And know that every one of those has a separate GPA requirement when you want to apply to that specific college within your university. So you always want to be focused in maintaining a good GPA. So college is a little different. You do only have, let's say, 12 to 18 credit hours, meaning 18 hours total in class. So there's a lot of free time in college. It's a lot different than high school. You can set up your schedule the way you want it. Typically, classes are either 3 days a week for a couple hours, or like an hour and a half, or 2 days a week for 2 hours, whatever gets them that 3 or 4 hours per week that they have you in class time. So you can stagger that however you'd like that works for your schedule. Make sure you think about travel time and study time. And in this case, this person has almost every afternoon off, and a lot of college students then would work. But maintaining a work and study balance is important because college is hard, and this is when you actually have to study. Every hour you're in class, you should plan on studying an hour for that class. So, 4 hours in math class means 4 hours a week of studying just for math. So college is very expensive. We saw the previous chart that the higher the degree, the more likely you're going to have a higher income. But the longer you go to school, the more expensive it is, and it will cost you to get that degree. So this is from Sally May, which is monitors college costs throughout the country. Um, this is showing you the cost per year for each type of institution. So, for a 2 year public institution, such as a community college like KVCC or KCC, it will cost you approximately $12,000 a year. That is 100 on average $120 per credit hour. So times three, we're looking at $360 a class at a community college. At a public 4 year public university such as Western or Grand Valley State, it'll cost you approximately $25,000 per year. And if you need at least 4 years for that bachelor's degree, we're talking $100,000 to get your bachelor's degree. It's $600 per credit hour there. And then a private university such as K College here in Kalamazoo, or others in the area like Albion, those are private universities, and that will cost you up to $47,000 per year. So we're looking at about $200,000 is what it will cost you to go to a private university, or $2,000 per credit hour. So these are shocking prices. And if you go out of state, you are going to look at prices more like this. So even if you want to go to Purdue University versus Michigan State University, you're going to pay $25,000 versus $50,000 just to go out of state. So here's the sticker price of a college is what they advertise. That's when you look up a tuition price, what they call their sticker price. Then to compare, though, what it will actually cost you, it's called the cost of attendance. So they take the sticker price, they subtract any grants you may be eligible for, they subtract any financial aid you are eligible for, they subtract any scholarships you're available, and then that's your cost of attendance. So shop around. What might seem to be an expensive college or university may actually be a lower cost of attendance, because you may have different, be eligible for different things at that college. Every college has different merit scholarships, which is basically how much money they're going to take off the sticker price based on your GPA and SAT. So I know, for instance, my son was offered $4,000 off at one school and $10,000 off at another school with the same GPA and SAT scores. So shop around and look at their merit scholarships. There are also other scholarships out there. You must apply to receive a scholarship. There are several in the national, local, or at the college itself, and we'll talk more about that when we talk about paying for college. Also, government financial aid. It is a loan. Parents can get the loans, students can get the loans, or both. You can also look at private loans to help pay for college and grants. Those are need basis only. It's certain criteria to get a grant. So let's look at, again from Sallie Mae, how most people pay for college. So I'm just going to focus on this one here. For a $30,000 a year tuition or cost for college, which is very typical, most of the blue here, about 13,000, is either parent is borrowing, or I'm sorry, the parent is paying for the college for the child. You have about 4,000 as the student is getting financial aid, so that you're borrowing about 4,000 from, let's say, the government financial aid or private loans. 2,300 is about the amount a student has saved or a student is working to help pay for college. Parents could borrow money from getting loans or from the government. Parents paying, maybe a tiny bit came from something from relatives or friends, like your graduation money. And then last is scholarships and grants. So notice only about 7,000 of 30,000 is earning from a scholarship. So don't rely on scholarships to pay for much of your college cost. So if anything, if I were you, I'd start talking to parents now about cost of college, realistic cost of attendance, and how are we going to pay for that cost of attendance. There will be more information later. Thank you for listening and your patience.